Hello everyone, I'm Captain Logan. And it's time once again. Okay, so you can get out of the water now. Hey Vince!
Yeah.
What do you recommend today, sir?
Today I'm recommending...
Oh god.
My phone! No, I'm kidding.
Oh boy, I was terrified. What's he pulling out of his pants?
I'm recommending an album that I purchased onto Amazon's called Coming Home.
Well, Hippolyta sold you that app? Wow, alright.
I like it.
Yeah, thanks.
But,
I was proud of that.
I don't use the iTunes, I use the Amazons.
The Amazons, yeah.
So, I purchased it on the Amazons. And the album is called Coming Home by Leon Bridges. And I love this album, start to finish. I think it's really solid. And the thing about it is, I don't have a whole lot to say. I think it's just, if you like older style rhythm and blues music like Sam Cooke and Al Green, this is something very much so in the same vein. And I like it so much because it's original, but it calls back. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't want to say derivative because I feel like that's a naughty word at this point. But there are things that are definitely in reference to, and he has a voice that's strikingly similar to Sam Cooke's, and I think it's so entertaining. And Coming Home, I heard that on 96.5 The Buzz in Kansas City, and I think you know, it's nice when you have a radio show or a radio station that's willing to play a song that's not even exactly its type of music.
Yeah, I was surprised you said that.
They're very alternative, and yet they played this Leon Bridges song. And
that's really surprising to me because they usually go for more of the punk and grunge type stuff.
It's a little more like Mumford and Sons,
really?
And Vampire Weekend nowadays.
That strikes me as, so once again I'm gonna mention a Kansas City station that used to be around that's not anymore, but that strikes me more as the kind of thing that the Planet would have played back in the early 2000s.
Huh,
I don't know if you ever
never listened to that.
93 something. Yeah, that station is how I was turned on to Nickel Creek. Oh. And they used to play a lot of different kind, you know, like alternatives to alternative, where it's like got rock influences, but it's not exactly rock, and they play some folksy type stuff and things like that. So I was really surprised to hear you say that was on the Buzz.
I love things that kind of call back.
I'm not saying that's a folk thing, but
no,
but it does sound like it's what, blues type stuff.
This is like oldies rhythm and blues type stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
The stuff that they're playing on 96.5 nowadays is a lot like. I mean, they do have some of that grunge stuff in the evenings. During the day, they play mostly alternative, and that's kind of the big thing that they do. But then they give bands a shot. Like, they did have some folk on there.
I knew what alternative meant 10 years ago. I would not be confident that what I think of as alternative is what people play and call alternative now.
You know, I think it's kind of fuzzy at this point because
alternative to what? I mean, at this point, like what even does mainstream rock sound like when you're in a world that's so like pop heavy? And I mean, like the 80s and 90s certainly were also pop heavy, but I felt like there was a little bit more of a blend and like a mix, you know, crossing the genres. You have a lot of stuff that would chart in both places, and now like you know, pop, R&B, like all that stuff kind of seems to be fused together now.
You know, I suppose you could almost say that.
Now, I may not know what I'm talking about because I just don't care for a lot of current music, but
there's starting to be a little bit of a movement where things are going back. Or not backwards, but back to a different time. But there's a reason why.
I've seen that with film too. Yeah.
One of the things I like this Leon Bridges album, start to finish. I think it's great. Mark Ronson put out an album. I forget what it's called, Uptown something or other. He did this song called Uptown Funk that's getting a lot of press. And Uptown Funk is a funk song, very much so in the vein of something you would hear from like Parliament Funkadelic, only a little more mainstream. And I recommend that song. I don't recommend the rest of the album. I thought the rest of the album was kind of boring-ish. But, you know, I like Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder's on that album 3 times.
Oh, really?
I'm okay with it. I mean, he has the main song, he has the intro and the reprise that all feature the Stevie Wonders. But what's
it with you and pluralizing?
I don't know. I think it's really funny.
Yeah, man, you got me talking stupid now.
So I like that
the
stuff.
Stevie Wonders, yeah, pluralizing.
I do like some Meghan Trainor. Deal with it, because I think it's kind of a callback to girl groups. I wouldn't recommend the whole Meghan Trainor album, and her lyrics aren't necessarily that clever, but the songs I think are catchy, and the chorus lines are reminiscent of girl groups. And then you have Leon Bridges, which is reminiscent of things like these solo singers like Sam Cooke and Al Green. And then you have something that's reminiscent of older style funk, just that song. The rest of the album is kind of ranges between R&B and hip hop, but that Mark Ronson song "Uptown Funk" is solid, featuring Bruno Mars. So,
okay.
For those of you who are like, "Who's Mark Ronson?" Ooh wee, ooh wee. Anyway, Jay,
you should go.
What's your name?
you should.
Anyway, Stevie.
Everybody should go to a theme park with Vince. That's what he does on roller coasters. He's like, ooh.
And then when we hit the bottom, I'm like, la 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 la.
Well, today I'm going to recommend something entirely different. Today I want to talk a little bit about the gaming capture device that I'm using right now. I've not heard a lot of people talk about this one, so I thought it would be a good idea to bring this to folks' attention. This is the Hauppauge. What a weird name for a company. I've not looked into this company, but I wonder if they're not German or something originally, because I don't know what that even means. But yeah, Hauppauge is the company. This is the Hauppauge Rocket, and this is a really good capture device. I've been really happy with it. The big selling point for this, for me, in the first place, is that it's portable. And Tim Lyons turned me on to one that was portable. I bought this one instead, mostly because it has a mic line in where you can do your gaming audio commentary directly into the device if you want to. And I've tried that. I have not been real happy with the results of it. And I also like sometimes, or most of the time when I do gameplay video, unless I'm doing post-game commentary, which I've done a little bit now. I did one video last week that way, and I may do more like that some. But anyway, what I like to do is just take my camera and shoot my face and then put that in a corner. So I don't really need that feature, which is a lot of why I bought it. But it's still a really good device. So the way this works, if you're not familiar with gaming capture devices that you don't need to be near your computer to use, the way it works is that you've got an HDMI in and an HDMI out, which is, I'm sure, how those probably work also. But obviously you take one end, from your system, you put that into the TV, you take the other end, put it into the out, and so it's going through this. And then playing also into your TV, so you can actually see the gameplay and in real time with no kind of lag. And then in the front, you can hook in any kind of USB device, be it an external hard drive or a I use just a flash drive, and you want to make sure that it's 28, 30 something gigs, so that you have enough room on it depending on how long you want to play. But anyway, so you hook that in, and then Vince it records files just directly into that.
Cool.
And so then when you pull that out and you put it in your computer, you've got those files. Now, I have found that with the editor I use, and other editors might be able to read those files okay, I found that I have to convert them first. They are technically MP4s, but I think they're MP4s, but it doesn't like the kind of MP4 it is, I guess. So I have to use a program to turn them into another sort of MP4, and then I can put those into my editor, into Sony Vegas, is what we use to edit videos. And anyway, so that's kind of an extra step that takes a little bit longer, that makes it take a little bit longer, but it's not too bad. So you got that conversion element. But anyway, the way it works is you just push the big red button on the front, and when the front of this whole line here lights up, and when that's red, you know for sure that it's recording into it, and then when you turn it off again, it goes green, and then you know that you're done. And then if you're wondering, well, how do you record gameplay that's not from a system with HDMI? Because obviously that's the current, that's like the current systems, the next-gen systems, and some of the last-gen systems. But what about going back that far? What if you have, say, like I do, a 360 that is one of the earlier models, doesn't have HDMI, and uses composite or component cables? How do you do that? Well, there is, and I don't have it sitting here with me, but there is an adapter that it comes with that allows you to plug plug in your component cables into into it, and then it's HDMI on the other side. So you'd hook the HDMI into there, and then you've got an adapter that hooks up your component cables. They also have one that I don't have, that didn't come with it. I wish it had, but it's available on their website for like $12. They have another adapter that does composites, so that would allow you to go all the way back to, say, Nintendo 64 and systems that were just after the 16-bit era, when we were getting away from the RF switches and into composite cables. Once you're dealing with RF switches, you need some kind of hub. Like you could probably connect it into a VCR and come up with like an out from that. But that gets a little stickier. But anyway, so that's how that works. And like I said, I like it a lot. This runs, I think right now about 160.
You know what I like the most about it?
What's that?
It looks like if you push that button, you're going to blow up the universe.
Oh, right? Yeah, this message will self-destruct in 5 seconds. I like how super tiny and lean it is. It's really cool. I was just excited that we're already to a point now where these have gone portable and I can record in the comfort of my game room, and I don't have to take my systems and bring them into my office and hook them up to the computer and have, 10 minutes of rigmarole before you can get started. This thing, you hook up real fast and you go, right away. Like I said, I did that video a couple months ago with Tim Lyons on what did we play? We played Mario Kart on Super Nintendo, and he's got the Retron 5. I kind of want to get that system. So he's able to hook up something like this HDMI directly into a system that will play the older games. That's by the way, the other, and the kind of the better way to do that is to just get one of the Retron systems, because they will go out HDMI, and you've got, I think they go HDMI, and you've got a port on the Retron 5 for Nintendo, for NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis, Famicom, and I think even one other thing, maybe one of the Game Boys is there.
You can play
up through Advance, I think. Yeah.
Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance,
everything up until you get to DS. Yeah, I think. But yeah, those are running right now 170. I haven't. That's a little steep for me right now, just because I have most of those systems right now, and so unless that was the only way I could record the gameplay, but that is a really neat system. I don't know if you've gotten to play one.
I've not used the controller. But
well,
I know it works.
I don't like their controller, but you can hook up a regular one, right. So that's good. But one of the nice things about it is that it's got save states just like an emulator.
Yeah. Well, it's because it uses emulator.
It uses emulator technology, yeah. So it'll save inside of it, and so I mean that's cool. Kind of nice. If you want that. I mean, I like to play as pure as possible, but then there's some games that you just kind of need that. It's hard to get anywhere without it.
Genesis, it's just impossible.
Oh, I know. I played. Are you talking about the clone one? Or
I think that's it.
Yeah, I did a platforming hour on that.
To get through the whole dang thing.
I did a platforming hour on that, and I played through one level and didn't even get through it.
That's just insane.
It's a really good game. I mean, it's pretty. It's a lot of fun. The level designs are fantastic, but it is hard as all get out.
Yeah, you got to learn the pattern to everything, and just running through it, you either have to know the pattern, or you die.
So I've been doing some gameplay videos lately. I'm just full disclosure, I have not been super comfortable with those because I don't feel like I'm good enough to do those videos. So they've been a lot of fun to make, but I'm just I take too long. You know what I mean? Like a game that'll take some people 4 hours might take me 8, and I'm posting that gameplay, and I feel a little self-conscious about it. But it has been kind of fun, so I don't know how much more of that I'm going to keep doing. I do, Vince, want to start doing more reviews again of video games. The ones that I did for Spawn Year, I was real happy with, and would kind of like to maybe do some more of those.
Ones that don't involve Spawn.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I've done all the Spawn games, so there'd be no reason to do that.
You have to do them again.
Done all of
them.
Yeah.
For the rest of your life, in your own personal
hell of your own. Yeah. Well, one thing. What I'd like to do, and I don't want to make any promises, but what I'd like to do is get back to more superhero replays. I've done a couple of those, and I never intended for that to be like a long-running series where I was going to do all of them, like I'm trying to do with the movies. But it is a thing that has has been fun to do when I've done it, and I'd kind of like to go back and do more. And I have started buying up more superhero video games, even if they're not very good, just like I do with movies. So I'm starting a collection of superhero video games, and might ultimately try to build up a collection of something close to every superhero video game ever made. Did you know that there was a Darkman game on the NES? Like, I had no idea this existed, and that's what I want to get, and it's well reviewed. Huh. So I kind of want to get my hands on that. I'd like to do a review of that. I bought The Darkness for 360 the other day. I've not played that. Yeah. And I
tried that on PS3.
I heard great things about it. Yeah, and then they made a sequel, and I heard it was okay also, but I haven't. Again, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But
it's kind of a neat idea. You like run in and shoot out lights. It's kind of cool.
Oh, neat. Okay. Well, I liked the concept of The Darkness. I don't know if those comics are ultimately very good, because I read a couple when I bought out a collection in the early 2000s, and I haven't read it since. I liked the Darkness Batman crossover some when I read that, but that's been forever. And the last time I made a big deal out of a comic I loved that I hadn't read that long ago, it was Hush, and then I reviewed that and didn't like it at all. So
that's amusing.
The art's good. Some of the ideas are cool, but no. But
it's kind of hard to hate. It's kind of hard to hate Jim Lee.
Yeah. But anyway, that's what I recommend today. If you're looking for a, oh man, you blew up my Hauppauge. If you're looking for a good game device, this is one that I would recommend. You might be able to find it a little bit cheaper on Amazon. I bought this locally. But anyway, like I said, the Hauppauge PVR Rocket. PVR Rocket is what that's called. And anyway, that's what I recommend. And Vince recommended an album that he can't show you physically.
I'm showing you my phone!
Thanks a lot for watching. We sure appreciate it, and hope you enjoyed this installment of Recommends, and we will recommend something for you once again shortly. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Vince.
See you later. Resolve record!